What if I told you that losing 5 pounds might not be the most important thing happening inside your body? You could step on the scale tomorrow and see the exact same number, and your clothes might fit almost the same. Yet something important could be changing deep inside your abdomen. Because not all body fat behaves the same way. Some fat sits underneath your skin, where you can see it and grab it. But visceral fat is different. It develops deeper inside your abdominal cavity, surrounding organs such as the liver, pancreas, kidneys, and intestines. And unlike ordinary stored fat, visceral fat is biologically active. That's why your scale can look reassuring while your internal health may be changing. Imagine a man named Robert. He's 64, and every morning he steps on the scale. For months, the number barely changes. He's walking, eating smaller portions, and staying active. Eventually, he thinks, what's the point? Nothing is working. So he starts eating less, skips meals, and pushes himself harder during workouts, but only feels more exhausted. The strange part is that the scale still hasn't changed much. Robert assumes his body has failed him, but the scale was never designed to tell him the whole story. It measures total mass, not how much is water, muscle, digestive contents, or where his stored fat is located. That's why doctors look beyond weight and consider waist measurements, body composition, activity, sleep, and metabolic health. Think about your body like a house. The scale tells you the total weight of everything inside the house, but it doesn't tell you whether the problem is in the kitchen, basement, bedroom, or garage. Visceral fat is like something hidden in the basement. You can't clearly see it from the front door. And because it is metabolically active, it can contribute to inflammation and metabolic problems. Now, don't misunderstand this. Body weight still matters. If someone carries excess body fat, gradual weight loss can be beneficial. The point isn't that the scale is useless. The point is that the scale is only one piece of information. Sometimes, your internal progress can be better than the number suggests. And that brings us to the first mistake, treating scale weight as your only scorecard. You weigh yourself every day and judge your entire health journey by that number. The scale gives immediate feedback, so it feels objective. But body weight can fluctuate for many reasons unrelated to fat loss. One example described in the source showed visceral fat decreasing substantially, while total body weight changed very little. In that example, visceral fat dropped by more than 20% over 12 weeks. Imagine losing abdominal fat while preserving or gaining muscle. The scale barely moves, so you think you failed. But your body composition may actually be improving. That's why you should track several things together. Your waist measurement, how your clothes fit, your strength, your energy, and your overall weight trend. Don't let one isolated weigh-in decide whether your entire health journey is working. The second mistake is assuming the workout that leaves you completely exhausted must burn the most visceral fat. Intensity feels like proof that something is working. But if you choose a routine you hate, you may do it once or twice and then quit. Research described in the source shows that moderate to vigorous aerobic exercise and HIIT can both help reduce visceral fat, without a major statistical advantage for HIIT over steady-state cardio. Think about two people. Person A does a brutal HIIT workout twice a month. Person B walks briskly for 45 minutes 4 times a week. Person B may have the more sustainable strategy. Brisk walking, cycling, swimming, or light jogging can all be options when appropriate. The best routine isn't necessarily the most impressive. It's the one you can keep doing consistently. The third mistake is treating sleep as optional. You focus on food and exercise but ignore recovery because sleep doesn't feel like fat burning. However, poor sleep can influence hormones and stress responses associated with abdominal fat. The source describes a controlled sleep study where participants restricted to 4 hours of sleep for 14 days experienced an 11% increase in visceral fat. So recovery deserves attention too. The fourth mistake is trying to completely transform your life overnight. You change your diet, start intense workouts, eliminate foods, and expect dramatic results immediately. Dramatic action feels motivating, but it often becomes impossible to maintain. Someone may promise to exercise 6 days a week, last 9 days, and then stop for 3 weeks. A better strategy is building a routine you can maintain even during a busy week. The fifth mistake is searching for one food, supplement, or workout that will eliminate visceral fat. A single answer sounds easy, but it can make you ignore the bigger picture. One healthy food cannot compensate for inactivity and poor sleep. Instead, think in systems. Nutrition, physical activity, sleep, recovery, and progress tracking all work together. Sustainable habits are usually more valuable than chasing a magic bullet. Let me ask you something. If your weight stayed exactly the same for 3 months, but your waist became smaller, your clothes fit better, and your fitness improved, would you call that failure? Or would you recognize that your body had changed in a better direction? Starting tomorrow, measure more than your weight. Track your waist, weekly activity, sleep, strength, and how you feel. Remember Robert? Instead of weighing himself obsessively, he began tracking his waist once a week. He continued walking and stopped sacrificing sleep just to squeeze in extra workouts. After several months, the scale had barely changed, but his waist was smaller, his clothes fit differently, and he felt stronger. For the first time, he realized the goal wasn't simply to become lighter. It was to become healthier. Don't let one number convince you that nothing is changing inside you. Visceral fat is hidden deep inside the abdomen, and the scale doesn't tell the entire story. Consistent aerobic exercise can help, sleep matters, and sustainable routines beat extreme routines. If this changed the way you think about belly fat, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and comment "track more" if you're ready to measure progress differently. This video is for general education only, not medical advice. Consult a qualified healthcare professional before major lifestyle changes.